Hi Kopites, welcome back to the channel. So I've just been looking around, there's not a great deal to talk about, is there? I don't really want to just be repeating videos all the time. I mean, there's something come out about Richard Hughes, hasn't there, going to Al Hilal. I put that on my channel months ago. You know, I don't need to touch on that again. I know what's going to happen. I've said this for months. Richard Hughes is going to finish the transfer window off and he's going to go to Al Hilal. And then Julian Ward will take over as sporting director. It's not rocket science, guys. It's quite straightforward. But this video, we're going to talk about Ismail Sarr. Now, Ismail Sarr has been linked with Liverpool several times, dating right back to 2019. And I've noticed on X there's a few people linking him since the Diamandi deals died. Me personally, I like Ismail Sarr. I think he's a fantastic player. He's been a thorn in our side, hasn't he, for years. And he's having a really good World Cup. He's a player I would definitely look at Crystal Palace. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Ismail Sarr. So let's take a look. Ismail Sarr is a name that's suddenly doing the rounds on social media again as a possible Liverpool target. If you've seen those rumours and thought, haven't we been linked with him before? The answer is yes, and not just once. In fact, Liverpool's interest in Sarr stretches back 7 years. So in this video, we're going to look at where those links started, why Liverpool have admired him for so long, why a move has never happened, and whether this latest speculation has any substance behind it. The story begins back in 2019. At the time, Sarr was playing for French side Rennes and was rapidly becoming one of Europe's most exciting young wingers. He'd helped Rennes win the Coupe de France by beating Paris Saint-Germain in the final, and clubs across Europe were taking note. Liverpool were reportedly one of those clubs. The Reds admired his pace, his direct running and his ability to play across the front line. However, Watford quickly paid around 30 million to bring him to the Premier League before Liverpool made a move. That could have been the end of the story. Instead, Sarr made sure Liverpool never forgot his name. Fast forward to February 2020, Liverpool arrived at Vicarage Road. Chasing history, Jurgen Klopp's side were unbeaten in the Premier League and looked destined to complete an invincible season. Then Ismail Sarr produced the performance of his life. He scored twice, set up another goal and inspired Watford to a stunning 3-0 victory that ended Liverpool's incredible unbeaten run. Every Liverpool supporter remembers that afternoon. Ironically, that performance is also one of the reasons the transfer rumours really intensified afterwards. Reports suggested Liverpool were impressed with how devastating Sarr could be against elite opposition. And when you think about Klopp's team at the time, it made perfect sense. Liverpool wanted explosive attackers, players who could stretch defences, players capable of pressing from the front, players who could rotate with Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane without changing the way Liverpool played. On paper, Sarr ticked a lot of those boxes. By the summer of 2020, the rumours had become even stronger. Liverpool were actively looking for another forward. Several names were being discussed by journalists and supporters alike. One of them was Ismail Sarr. Another was Diogo Jota. As we all know now, Liverpool chose Jota. Looking back, that decision proved to be inspired. Jota's movement, finishing and pressing made him an almost perfect fit for Klopp's system, while Sarr remained at Watford. The links didn't disappear though. Whenever Watford were relegated or looked likely to go down, Sarr's name would pop up alongside Liverpool again. But despite all the speculation, there was never any concrete evidence that Liverpool made a serious bid. Instead, Liverpool strengthened their attack with players like Luis Diaz and later Darwin Núñez, while Sarr eventually left Watford for Marseille. At that point, it looked like the Liverpool story had finally come to an end. Then came Crystal Palace. After an inconsistent spell in France, Sarr returned to the Premier League under Oliver Glasner, and something changed. Yeah, he still had the blistering pace. Yes, he was still devastating in transition, but he'd also become a far more complete footballer. His pressing improved, his defensive work improved, his tactical discipline improved. Instead of simply relying on speed, he became a much more intelligent and complete winger. That's one of the reasons Palace enjoyed such success, with Sarr playing an important role as they lifted the FA Cup and established themselves as one of the Premier League's most exciting teams. So why are Liverpool being linked with him again? Well, if you look purely at player profile, it's easy to understand. He's entering the prime years of his career. He has years of Premier League experience. He's incredibly quick. He can play on either wing. He's comfortable in transition. And under Glasner, he's shown he can work hard without the ball, something Liverpool have always demanded from their attackers. In many ways, he's a much better player now than the one Liverpool were first linked with back in 2019 and 2020. But this is where we separate fact from speculation. As things stand today, there has been no confirmation from Liverpool's most reliable journalists, such as David Ornstein, Paul Joyce or James Pearce, that Liverpool are actively pursuing Ismail Sarr. That doesn't mean Liverpool don't admire him. History tells you they almost certainly have. But it doesn't mean scouts haven't watched him. Scouts haven't watched him. History suggests they probably have. But admiration and monitoring our player are very different from actually trying to sign him. At the moment, most of the current stories appear to be based on speculation rather than confirmed information. So could Liverpool sign Ismail Sarr this summer? It's certainly more believable than some of the rumours we've seen recently. Liverpool have liked the player before. He's proved himself in the Premier League. And now he looks like a far more complete footballer than the one Watford had a few years ago. However, until one of Liverpool's trusted journalists confirms genuine interest, this is a rumour that should be treated with caution rather than accepted as facts. Well, there you go, guys. Like I say, I really like Ismail Sarr. I think he's the perfect replacement for Mohamed Salah. He's not going to cost the prices we're being quoted for Bradley Barcola. I mean, PSG have come out now and said that they want north of 116 million for him, for a player that probably is just going to be a backup. I know Diamandis said that he prefers PSG, doesn't he? But the Leipzig sporting directors come out and said he'll be at Leipzig next season. So they've got all the power, haven't they? He's got his contract till 2030. We do need a right winger. I like two players. Said El Mali, I think he's a fantastic young player. He's only 19 years old. And then Ismail Sarr for me. One of them two, I'd be happy. Ismail Sarr, you're probably looking north of 60 million, aren't you? You could probably get Al Mali for around about 43 million. Well, let's just wait and see. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you be happy if Ismail Sarr signed for Liverpool? That's it for now. Take it easy.